Good morning. It is Tuesday, January 28th. I believe this is my second podcast for the year. This is my third time recording this, so let's see if I can do it with the same enthusiasm, giving the same tips. I am going to try something different where I record it on my computer first and then I put it up on Podomatic. So I've been having some struggles and stresses, mainly because I've never recorded the podcast like this before. I normally do them in my office, in my home office, at my desk. But I've shared this in the past that I'm attempting to have a better, work life balance, whatever that means. And so I got rid of my home computer. So I'm on my little laptop today. My little, what is this, MacBook Air thing in bed. So having my coffee, trying to get it together, trying to do this podcast, and it's not working out. So I've got five things that I want to share with you. Number one is before we do number one, I think that you should always start with a prayer of any type, regardless of where your faith religion is, asking for discipline. It's so important. And when you wake up in the morning, you are not responsible for opening your eyes. And so I think that if that's the only thing you say is thank you, you didn't do that. That's favor. That's, all of that. I think so many people get hung up on all the stuff not happening in your life. Look at that daily miracle. Like, that's a daily miracle that's happening in your life because it's not happening for everyone. So the first thing you want to do is set the week. What are you doing, what are you doing that's recurring? So I've got my workout. I work out 3 days a week still on my calendar. I've been doing that for over a year now. So I got that on there at 8, and I've actually inched up the time so that I can make better use of the time. So I used to do it at 8. Now I'm up to starting at 7:15. So I mean, look, kudos to me. 45 minutes I've gained back. Put everything on your calendar. I use Google Calendar. I've talked about this before. I use Google Calendar because it goes to all my devices, all my computers, except for this one for some strange reason. All my computers, all of my phone, my phones. My assistant has access to it. She uses it more than I do. So basically, I get up in the morning and I take a look at like what my week's gonna look like, and then when I get to work, I usually look at what my month is gonna look like. And so today I see I have an 11 o'clock dentist appointment. I see my assistant's leaving early to go take a class. She's gonna freshen up on her Excel skills. All these things that I know what's going on. So that's the first thing you want to do. The second thing you want to do, which is really the secret weapon to your week, is to not cancel anything. Don't cancel. Do everything. And if it comes to a point where somebody is kind of like interfering with your schedule, I say leave them. So yesterday morning, I have my workout. It's on my calendar. I have to leave my house. I try to leave by 7, so I'm at the gym on time. And she was late, and I literally had a time in my mind that I was like, if she's not here, she's getting left. Like, she's gonna be outside waiting until I get back, because I cannot throw my day off because people choose not to respect their day or their time. I just can't do it. So don't cancel anything. Somebody's not on time, leave them. Number 3, you have to have a list. You have to have a list. And, my list is a little bit different now because I have such good help. Now that I have more and better help, my lists are not as long as they used to be. But I'll share with you how I used to do my list. And I still do use this method, but I don't have to do it as intense anymore. So I always start on a fresh sheet of paper. I usually have a little notebook, and I have, I make a list. I use blue or black ink on everything that I need to get done for the day, everything that I can possibly think of. And then I take 2 highlighters. I have my yellow one and my orange one. And I say, I have this written down for you. Touch everything. Do not leave anything untouched on that list that day. Do not get up. Do not go hang out with friends. Do not turn on the TV. Do not do anything until you have touched everything on that list. And orange means that it's done. You take everything off. I'm done with this. Yellow means you touched it. Typically, when you have so many things to do, you're not going to get everything done all in one sitting, or some things on the to-do list are multiple, multi-level, multi-layered projects. So I usually take a colored pen, pink, orange, whatever, purple, and I write down the action after I touched it. So yellow means I touched it, and then I make a note on the action. So the next day, I sit down at my desk and I start a fresh sheet of paper. Guess how I'm going to lay that out? Everything that's yellow that's been touched, is at the top of my list now, clean and ready to rock and roll. And my hope is to turn as many of those orange as possible. So all my things that were in yellow, are now fresh at the top of my list. And then any of my new items that need to go on my to do list, those are going to be underneath yesterday's touched items. That's how you keep things organized. That's how you keep your priorities in order, and things come up that have to get handled right away, but that's how you're going to handle that. Number four, do not put things off. So many times, so many people are like, I'll ask people to do things and they're like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. And I'm just like, why tomorrow? Why tomorrow when you can do it today? What are you doing? What are you doing? Nothing. Do it today. Just get as much stuff as you can done that in the moment right now versus putting it off till tomorrow or Monday or Tuesday. Those days don't come. You forget. Just do it now. Don't put it off. I'm telling you, it's a really simple thing. It's like every Tavia, who's one of my mentees, teases me because I'll do a project with her. And then, we'll go over everything and I'll go, oh, okay, that should take about 2 weeks to finish. She says, I think we can get it done in 2 weeks. But I'm like, okay, well, what are we doing? So we look at the project again, and I start looking at all the steps, and I go, Tavia, we can do this all today. And she just like falls on the floor like, Myleik, why? I mean, it's so funny. One time back in the day when she first started working with me, she she couldn't go as hard as I went, and so she'd be passed out on the floor. I'm doing 2 days a day. She'd be passed out on the floor. She couldn't hang. She's gotten a lot better though. Number five is my favorite. Is that's the reward. Go ahead and reward yourself with something at the end of the week after you've been disciplined. You haven't canceled anything. You haven't gotten up without handling your list. And I always say, do not let the reward be food. I think culturally we always celebrate around food, and it's just not a good thing to do. Celebrate with something, a massage, a new top, a new workout outfit, new shoes, a new notebook. I mean, simple things. Treat yourself to something. And I have been doing this for so long that I'm going to share something with you. I cheat now. I take my reward before I start. So I looked at my calendar yesterday. So big computer at work, pull up the calendar, and I can see like my next 6-8 weeks. And I have like intense travel and schedule. Like it's just my next 8 weeks are brutal. So I sent a text to my accountant and I was like, okay, I want to go on a vacation before I get into the next 2 months of my life. Can I go? And he called me. He's like, are you kidding me? And I'm like, I need to go. So that'll keep my mind right. That'll keep me from fussing with people because I get like that. Like, I'm human, and after living out of a suitcase, being on you in the next 3 weeks, I am going to be on 8 planes. So that gets cranky, being away from home, not sleeping in your bed, hustling, grinding. I'm down for it. I love it, but it can really be tiresome on the body. I don't care who you are. So I'm rewarding myself before I do all of this, and that's just how I roll. But I hope that this helps you. I hope that I do not have to record this again. I'm going to pop this up now, and I want you guys to have an awesome week. I literally have like 45 minutes before I have to get to my office. Sheesh. Bye.